Hi everyone, my name is Kriti Tyagi, and today I will be talking about how abortion changed from 1920 to 1940 in the form of a timeline. So, in 1916, Margaret Sanger opened up one of the first birth control clinics. This was a place where Sanger and her staff verbally communicated with women seeking information about birth control. In 1920, the Russian Soviet Republic became the first country in the world in the modern era to allow abortion in all circumstances. But over the course of the 20th century, there was a ban put on it again. In 1921, the American Birth Control League was founded, and it was an organization that advocated for the legalization of contraceptives in the U.S., and it promoted women's reproductive rights and health. From 1923 to 1933, 15% of maternal deaths were due to illegal abortions. Women would, perform abortions on themselves without the help of a midwife who would be there when the physician, without the help of a midwife or a physician, and the midwife would be there when the physician would perform that procedure. And there would be complications and infections, and it wasn't a good situation. In 1929, when the Great Depression hit, it touched all aspects of women's lives, and women had abortions on a massive scale because married women with children found it impossible to bear the expenses of another kid. In the late 1920s, 15,000 women every year died from abortions because of the complications. Again, just wasn't a good situation. In 1933, Dr. William J. Robinson, the member of mainstream medical organizations, um, he was trying to persuade physicians to provide contraceptives for over 30 years so that abortion rates weren't as high and it would just provide protection. Um, so in 1936, Dr. Frederick Taussig he suggested that modifying state abortion laws to allow physicians to perform a few more therapeutic abortions would not stir much opposition. So therapeutic abortions were a procedure that was done in the early part of the pregnancy to basically kill the child. Um, yeah. So the regular physicians would be allowed to perform these therapeutic abortions, but only after consultation with another physician and a licensed hospital. And his law would allow abortions for rape victims, for women who weren't very mentally stable, and for girls who were under the age of 16, and lastly, for women who were poor. And he felt that his law would decrease the number of secret abortions. In 1937, the federal law quietly sponsored, for the first time ever, the provision of birth control services in the late 1930s. In 1939, the Birkett Committee is set up. So they it was set up in 1936, but they basically were saying they were reclarifying that doctors could perform an abortion to save a woman's life. But unfortunately, World War II interrupted any implementation of its findings. In 1940, the death toll had declined to just under 1,700 and just to over 300 by 1950, and that was most likely because of the antibiotics that had come out during the time, which permitted more effective treatment of the infections that frequently developed after the abortion. So, until the last third of the 19th century, um, abortion was legal before quickening. So, quickening was when the mom would feel the baby move. So, abortion was legal before that, the quickening stage took place. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the abortion versus birth control debate. Um, Using a contraceptive significantly reduces a woman's likelihood of becoming pregnant, and that's an effective method that eliminates the risk. But there's an argument saying that um, if you have contraceptives, it does not reduce unintended pregnancy, nor and it just may actually increase sexual activity and more risk. And basically, what they're trying to say is birth control would not be effective.